and welcome to my TV show on the YouTube network with a potential audience of over 2 billion people. Coming to you live from the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, where I am peacefully protesting and advocating for the homeless here in Santa Monica and in Los Angeles County and in California and the whole US of A, the whole wide world if we could do something about it. But we have to start somewhere, so we might as well start right here in Santa Monica, California. And that's where I am running for Santa Monica City Council. My name is Wade Kelley, and I'm running for Santa Monica City Council to stand up for human rights. That's right here in Santa Monica. We need to stop criminalizing poverty and homelessness and start standing up for the rights of human beings to have the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the whole wide world. In this 4th largest economy of the whole wide world, California, in this very wealthy city of Santa Monica, we need to be standing up and say, listen, you leaders, instead of criminalizing poverty and homelessness, you need to be building affordable housing. You need to be making sure that everybody can have a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. Now here in Santa Monica, the kids do get a good public education, especially compared to a lot of California. But we need to make sure that all of California spends a lot more money on public education, because we are ranked 30th in spending on public education. Of all the states in this country, we are ranked 30th. Now that's a shame, California. That's a shame. There's no reason that the 4th largest economy of the world should be ranked 30th in spending on public education. We need to raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. That's right. We need to get behind that Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 here in California. We don't have to wait for the rest of the country. A lot of people say to me, well, we can't raise taxes on the billionaires because Trump's in power. We can raise taxes on the billionaires right here in California and make sure that everybody in California can have good quality health care. We can make sure that everybody in California has a good public education. You know, right now, about 40% of our public schools are educating 90% of our students of color. 40% of our public schools teach 90% of our students of color. That means 60% of our public schools here in California only teach 10% of our students of color. That means we got a lot of segregation going on here in California, and we need to work against that. We need to work towards integrating our society. We need to keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all, because we haven't gotten there yet. It's still 10 times more likely for a young black man to go to prison than a young white man. It is still very much more likely for a Hispanic or Latino young man to go to prison than a young white man. We need to change that. And we need to keep integrating our society. That's why we need to build more affordable housing right here in Santa Monica. And that's why I speak out strongly that Santa Monica, you've done a very good job of building housing for the rich and powerful. You need to build some more housing for the homeless. You know, right now, Santa Monica is closing down the shelters. It's closing down Sam O'Shell Shelter because there's a criminal element around there, is what they say. And they're going to lease shelter beds in a more densely populated more racially diverse, lower income city of Bell or one of these other cities. They're just trying to push all the poor people out of Santa Monica. They just want to push all the poor people down the road. They don't want to help poor people here in Santa Monica. They just want to make it harder for them to survive. And that's a shame, Santa Monica. We need to be showing that progressive government can make a difference in people's lives and can help lift people out of poverty. I went to this debate, the Santa Monica Democratic Club debate, Wednesday night. All 10 members so far that are running for Santa Monica City Council were there. And I was the only one out of 10 City Council candidates that would propose to use any of that Santa Monica Airport property for affordable housing. That's right, the Santa Monica Airport is going to be closed down at the end of 2028. And that's going to be 192 acres of land turned over to the city of Santa Monica. And all of these other candidates say, no, it just needs to be a great park, because that's what it was voted for in 2014. Well, we're at 2026, and we haven't gotten anywhere with our housing crisis, our homelessness crisis. So we need to build some affordable housing. Some people say, well, there's been a decrease here in Los Angeles. There's been a decrease of homeless human beings that are unsheltered. And actually, there's a new Rand report out there, Rand Corporation, Rand study. And Rand, they're supposed to be kind of smart. And they just put out a study that said actually the number of homeless people has not been reduced. There are just more people, since their encampments are being torn down. There are more people sleeping in the shadows. There are more people sleeping in the bushes that can't be counted. So we haven't had a decrease in the homeless population here in California. People have just been rough sleeping, that's what they call it. They call it rough sleeping when these people have to just sleep with a blanket and a pillow. Because ever since Grants Pass versus Johnson, the Grants Pass versus Johnson ruling in 2024 by Trump's ultra-conservative Supreme Court, that our own governor signed a friend of the court brief. He said, give me the power to criminalize poverty and homelessness so I can clean up our streets. And that's what they've been doing since 2024. They've been criminalizing poverty and homelessness. And we need to tell them, no, that's the wrong direction. You need to be building affordable housing. You need to be standing up for the rights of poor people and homeless people and making sure that everybody can have the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the whole wide world. We have too many of our leaders blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless, while they are creating that situation by their policies. Too many of our leaders are saying, don't be poor and homeless, don't be poor at all. We'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. We'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. They'll say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with bugs. So don't be poor and homeless, that's what I say. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless, just be rich. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and sick. They'll put you in the hospital and spit you out real quick. They'll say you need to rest more and change the way you eat. But they ain't got no medicine to get you off of the streets. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live in a mansion. You got to get a mansion. Yeah, that's right. All the rich folks want to help you if they could. So they'll take your tent and your bags and stuff and move them to another neighborhood. A little farther. A little farther. A little farther down the road would be good. Thank you, peace. I'll be sharing that with the homeless. Thank you. I didn't see this fell down. Huh? Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be sharing that with the homeless. Among the homeless. All the rich folks want to help you if they could. So they'll take your tent and your bags and stuff and move them to another neighborhood. A little farther, a little farther, a little farther down the road would be good. That's how they used to do it. And now that they can criminalize poverty and homelessness, they just take people's stuff, they tear down their tents, and they put all of their tents and everything into the dumpster, and they give the homeless people, they give them a 60-gallon bag, and they say, fit all of your belongings in this 60-gallon bag because you're poor and homeless, and you don't deserve to have anything. That's what they do. What? Thank goodness for EBT, right? Thank goodness for a SNAP program, for the food program. There are some programs here in California that do help people, but they're tearing down people's tents and encampments and giving them a 60-gallon bag to put all of their belongings in, and they're blaming them. They're giving them citations for being poor and homeless, and then they're putting people in jail. And these people aren't finding any housing, especially not here in Santa Monica, that's for sure. We have too many of our leaders blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless. Don't be poor and homeless, that's what they say. Don't live in your car, they'll find a way to ticket you, no matter where you are. They'll say you're near a schoolyard or near a city park. They'll make you move your car all day and give you tickets while you're sleeping in the dark. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live on a yacht. You gotta get a yacht. Get a yacht that has a yacht in it too. Get a big yacht that has a little yacht in it, you know what I mean? They were talking the other night at this debate. The Santa Monica Democratic Club hosted this debate for Santa Monica City Council candidates. And they were saying to some of the candidates, they were saying, well, what would you do to get rid of cars in Santa Monica and to make Santa Monica more green? And I said, well, you know, since I'm homeless, I have people I can stay with, but I'm going to hold on to my car for now because I had to live in my car for a year. So I'm not going to be giving up my car anytime soon, and I don't think poor people who don't have a place to live should have to give up their cars just to make people feel a little better about their environment. What about the environment of these poor people that are sleeping in the streets? What about their environment? You know, the life expectancy here in the United States is 79 years old. But if you are homeless, living in the streets, your life expectancy is around 50. So while I hope we keep working towards a better environment for everybody, we have to start lifting these poor people out of poverty and make sure that they have the basics, a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education for every child here, every person here in California. We can do it. We're the fourth largest economy of the whole wide world. We don't have to wait for Trump to be out of office. We don't have to wait. We can raise taxes on the billionaires right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. That's right. Some people said to me the other night, they said, well, I don't know if this is the right billionaire tax. I said, are there any other billionaire taxes on the ballot this fall in California? No. This is the only billionaire tax that will be on the ballot this fall. And we need all of our leaders to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 here in California. We need to show that California can make a difference. We need to show that California can raise taxes on the billionaires. This is a 5% wealth tax that over 5 years, a 5% wealth tax on the billionaires. And it would go to health care programs for the poor and also some food programs and education programs. And we need to show that we can raise taxes on the billionaires here in California and not wait for Trump to be out of office because, that's what Newsom said. Oh, I want to raise taxes on the billionaires, but I want to wait until I'm president. That's what he says. He says, I want to wait until I'm president, then I'll raise taxes on the billionaires all around the country. Well, you're governor of California. You can raise taxes on the billionaires right here in California now. You don't have to wait till you're out of office, although I can't wait till you are out of office, Newsom, because you haven't done anything for the poor and the homeless except make their lives more miserable. I'm sorry, that's the truth. He got behind he got behind the Trump Grants Pass versus Johnson ruling to criminalize poverty and homelessness, and he failed to build affordable housing. Both things you did not help any homeless people and poor people in this state. You were a terrible governor, and you don't need to be considered for president. And now he's saying, oh, but I'll raise taxes on the billionaires when I'm president. No, raise taxes on the billionaires here in California now. Don't wait. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. We need to tell all of our leaders, we need to tell everybody running for office, you better get behind that Billionaire Tax Act or we're not going to vote for you. We need to tell Javier Becerra, listen, you need to get behind that Billionaire Tax Act or we're going to make your governorship a rough time. Because if you don't stand for the poor people instead of the rich people like the governor in there now, we are going to make things hot for you. And we need to speak out and make sure that everybody knows we need to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. That's right, California, let's make a difference. Let's show the rest of the country that progressive government can raise taxes on the rich and can help lift people out of poverty instead of blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless. We have too many of our leaders saying, don't be poor and homeless. Don't live in your car. They'll find a way to ticket you no matter where you are. They'll say you're near a schoolyard or near a city park. They'll make you move your car all day and give you tickets while you're sleeping in the dark. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live on a yacht. You gotta get a yacht. Get a yacht that has a yacht, a yacht for a yacht, you know what I mean? All the rich folks wanna help you if they can. So they'll start a race to outer space to help their fellow man. We are going to build affordable housing up on Mars. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. They'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. They'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. They'll say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with all kinds of bugs. So don't be poor and homeless, that's what they say. Yeah, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless, just be rich. That's right. Don't be poor and homeless, just be rich. That's right, homeless people, just be rich. That's right, we need to send all the homeless people to a Tony Robbins motivational seminar, and maybe that's the answer right there. No, they don't need any housing, they just need motivation. That's what they need. People say the funniest things. They say these homeless people just need a job. I said there's lots of homeless people that do have jobs and still cannot afford a place to live. If you have a minimum wage here in Southern California, if you have a minimum wage job here in Southern California, you're most likely not going to be able to afford an apartment. Do you have the 3 months payment to move into the place in the first place? Here in Santa Monica, you're definitely not going to get a place to live on a minimum wage job. You know, we have many workers here in Santa Monica that cannot afford to live in Santa Monica. There's a small percentage of workers here in Santa Monica that actually live in Santa Monica, and that makes for bad democracy. When so many of the people working in your city cannot afford to live in your city, that makes for a bad democracy. That makes for one of them things called oligarchies, where only the rich people and the property owners get to vote. We should be past that by now. We should be past only the business owners and property owners get to vote. You know, that's the way it was when this city first was formed, and when this country, let me go back. When this country of the United States of America was first formed, only the rich white guys who owned property got to have a voice in our democracy. But since then, we've been moving forward. We're supposed to keep moving forward to make sure that everybody in this country can have the basics, can take part in our democracy. And that's why, after another tragedy happening here, where a man was killed by the ICE agents, and it looks as though he wasn't doing anything illegal other than going to work. We need to be speaking out for the rights of these people who have been used for their labor for generations and not been given a pathway to citizenship. We need to make sure these tens of millions of people that have been used for their labor and not been given a pathway to citizenship, that they are given a pathway to citizenship, that they get to be part of our democracy. Because if you've got 15 to 20 million people living in your society that can't be part of your democracy, that makes for bad democracy. That's like 5% of your population not being able to participate. And we've seen throughout the history of this country, many people want to use people for their labor and not give them any rights. We've seen that throughout the history of this country, and that's why we need to stand up for these people who have been used for their labor and not been given their rights. We need to keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. De la Sierra Moreno, cielito lindo, vienen bajando. par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo de contrabando. Ese lunar que tiene cielito lindo junto a la boca, no se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo que a mí me toca. Ay, 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 cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Ay, 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 ay. Cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Ay, 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 cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Ay, 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 cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. One more time, everybody sing along, here we go. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Let's work to make sure this land is made for you and me. Woo! That's right, peace. That's right, we got to keep working towards making sure that everybody has the same rights in this country. We've got to keep working towards equal rights. And if people have been left in the shadows and used for their labor for as long as so many people have and not been given a pathway to citizenship, we know that that's a problem of our government not doing its job, not bringing these people in. Because for generations, too many employers have said, hey, to the authorities, they said to the authorities, look the other way, because I need a lot of workers for this picking season or this factory or whatever. And then when the people come in, and the work's done, they say, no, the work's over, now these people got to get out. They don't want people to have rights after they use them for their labor. That's why we have to speak up and find a pathway to citizenship for these 20 million people that have been living in the shadows in this country and not been given their rights. Speak up for equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. We got to keep working to make sure that our democracy is vibrant and not taking advantage of a lot of poor people. And we also need to speak out and do like that Unite Here union did. They said, we're going to work on this World Cup here at SoFi Stadium and other places. And if any of the ICE agents come and harass our people, we're going on strike. We're going to shut the whole thing down. We need to do a lot more of that. We need to do a lot more of shutting down.
We need to strike for that shit.
That's right. We need to go on strike and do walkouts and boycotts and make sure that we stand up for the rights of these people that have been used for their labor for generations and not been given their rights.
EBT, out of the way.
Peace. How you doing? Peace.
I gave you $100. Did you really?
Wade. Good. What's your name again?
Notes.
Notes?
Yeah, my real name is Angel. Blessed.
Good to see you. Peace. Keep working towards us standing up for the rights of everybody to have their
basic. We give off you. Off the mind, use the words to express the people we are based off of our energy.
Well, you want to be a little mysterious. A little mysterious, a little fun. You having a good night? Things are peaceful?
We just had a little dinner.
All right.
Taking a little walk. You know, enjoying the California breeze.
Well, enjoy. Have fun.
To Alexis and an angel.
When marimba rhythms start to play, making me sway. Let's try that. When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway, like the flower bending in the breeze. Bend with me, sway with ease, like a flower. When we dance, you have a way with me. Stay with me, sway with me. Other dancers may be on the floor, yeah, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I grow weak. I can hear the sound of violins long before it begins. Make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. Peace. You have a great night.
Man.
Thank you. Peace.
Bless you,
Bless you. Have a great night. Enjoy. Spread the peace and love. And we'll keep working towards a better day for everybody. We got to keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. And that's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council again, to stand up for human rights, to tell Santa Monica we have to stop criminalizing poverty and homelessness and start standing up for the rights of people and working towards solutions, finding safe spaces for these homeless people. I told them the other night, they said, what would I like to see happen to this promenade? I said, hey, we need a great big community center in one of these buildings, instead of just making a profit off of every building here on this public promenade. And I reminded them, this is a public promenade. This is not Disneyland. This is not the Grove. We need to make sure that the people own this public promenade and people get out and exercise their First Amendment rights on this public promenade. And we need to have more stores that cater to the poor and those who just want to come and enjoy our public beaches and our public promenade without spending an arm and a leg just to enjoy their public spaces. We need to make it easier for the poor people to enjoy. We need to make it easier for the homeless people to survive. I'm not saying Santa Monica should be responsible for every homeless person. That's what so many people say. They say, oh, Santa Monica has too many homeless people that come from everywhere. We can't be responsible for all of them. And I asked the Director of Housing and Human Services, well, how many should Santa Monica be responsible for? And the Housing and Human Services Director said, well, we're working on that. We're going to figure that out. We don't have a number. Well, let me tell you, Santa Monica, you need to be a lot better. You need to be a lot more responsible for the homeless human beings that are here than just arresting them and giving them citations and pushing them down the road and not making their lives any better. You're just making their lives worse, and that's a terrible thing. If you can't at least make the lives better of these homeless human beings, these poor human beings, then just leave them alone instead of giving them citations for having a sleeping bag and a bedroll. You give them citations and arrest them for as little as a sleeping bag and a bedroll, and that's not helping anybody. That's just making things worse for human beings. See the people living in the street, ain't got no money, ain't much to eat. They're not too proud to take your crust of bread, just looking for some place to lay their weary heads. What's the problem that brought them here? The story's long and it isn't very clear. So many roads lead to the street, just looking for some place to lay their tired feet. I ain't saying they ain't done wrong. I ain't saying didn't help to bring it on. I'm just saying there must be somewhere they belong, and they're looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. All these homeless people living in a ditch with all these empty buildings and tax cuts for the rich. I ain't saying you have to give, but everybody, think your piece, has got a right to live, and they're just looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. You can sweep them out your doorway, tearing down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rents. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move in to your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. One more time with that. Sweep them out your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rents. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move in to your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Don't need your swimming pool, don't need your king-size bed. Just looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. That's right. They're just looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads, and we could help them. We could make sure that everybody who needs a place to live has one in this richest, most powerful country in the world, in this fourth largest economy of the world, California, in this very wealthy city of Santa Monica. Santa Monica has done such a terrible job of building affordable housing. There's still pickleball courts over there on 4th Street where they have talked about building affordable housing since 2018. It's 2026 right now, and still pickleball courts over there. Now they're supposed to break ground for the 122 unit low-income housing facility complex over there the end of 2026, but I will believe it when I see it, because they've been talking about that for years. You know, Santa Monica, you really are disappointing. Right next to our public beaches and this wonderful public promenade, and you want to push all the poor people down the road and criminalize poverty and homelessness. I used to hear that Santa Monica was a progressive city, and some people say it still is. Well, I guess if you're comparing it to some place like Beverly Hills, maybe it's progressive, or I think Beverly Hills has a Republican governor. You know, Santa Monica has, a Republican mayor. You know, Santa Monica has the second highest per capita budget of any city in Southern California. And still, they have found ways not to build affordable housing and not to help lift people up and give people. Wonderful. Get involved. I hope do you vote? Are you too young to vote? Okay, well, when you get...
I'll tell my parents.
Do you live in Santa Monica?
Yeah.
You know, in 2028, that Santa Monica airport is going to be closed down, the end of 2028. Yes, Santa Monica airport. That's 192 acres of land. That's 192 acres of land. Now, I am running for Santa Monica City Council, and I am the only one of 10 candidates that would use any of that 192 acres of land to build some affordable housing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. How often does your city get 192 acres of land given to it?
Not very often.
Not very often at all. And so we need to, hopefully by the time you're ready to vote, you will vote to build some affordable housing, because we need to keep integrating Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Because Santa Monica is right next to our public beaches. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Thank you. Stand up for equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. We haven't gotten there yet. That's why we have to keep working at it. And hopefully by the time you're ready to vote, we will be moving in that direction. Because we haven't gotten there yet. We got to keep working towards a better day. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. How you doing, Frederick? Good to see you. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Because when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love. That's right. We need to peacefully protest. Get out there. Use your First Amendment rights. Speak out against hatred and racism whenever you see it, whenever you hear it. And keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. It's about you. It's about me. It's about you and me working towards equality. It's about me. It's about you. It's about saying Black Lives Matter too. Cause when you and me are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about you. It's about me. Thank you, peace. I'll be sharing that with the homeless. Thank you. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor. Se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz y amor. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Hevenu shalom alechem. Hevenu shalom alechem. Hevenu shalom alechem. Hevenu shalom, shalom, shalom alechem. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love. That's right. We gotta keep spreading the peace and love. And let's all speak out against people that would cheer on assassins or would promote violence. Let's say, no, that's not the way to go here in the United States of America. We need to stand up for the right of everybody to speak their mind without threat of violence. That's right. How you doing? Are you wanting to play some more, or did you get plenty of playing in tonight, Nicholas?
No, you know what happened?
Good to see you.
You know?
I'm live streaming there. I know you don't like to be on the social media stream. How are you? Go ahead and tell me what happened.
Now the chief police showed up now at 10 o'clock after 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to rotate.
You had to.
You know what I'm saying?
You had to follow the rules even though nobody else did. That's the problem. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Well, hey, great to hear you playing as usual. Nicholas, the classical guitarist here on the promenade. Fantastic. Good to see you. Are you in town for a while? You're not going to Las Vegas anytime soon, huh? All right. I'll see you. I'll be seeing you soon. Have a good one. Because it's all, you know what it's about? You know what it's about? It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love. 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 How it's all about love. Hey, hey. That's right. It's all about peace and love and spreading it around a little better. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy in this country. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. There's no reason for rich people to be having space races while poor people are sleeping in the streets. We can do better than that. We can make sure that everybody has the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the world. And that's why we need to tell our leaders, even right here in California, get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Now, some people say, well, it's not the right billionaire tax. It's the only billionaire tax that will be on the California ballot this year. So vote for the billionaire tax this year in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. Hey, hey, hey. Good to see you, Jesse. How's it going? Peaceful?
So they finally kicked us off the beach.
They kicked the poor people off the beach. For a while, they weren't bothering people sleeping on the beach at night in a certain section here. But now they said, it's time to go and harass those poor people trying to sleep.
Yesterday morning.
You know, I was at this, yesterday morning they did it, huh?
Yeah,
I was at this debate Wednesday night for the city council candidates sponsored by the Santa Monica Democratic Club. And a lot of these people that are already on the city council, the two people already on the city council, they say, it's fine. We're doing it for their own good. We're giving them citations and arresting people and putting them through programs for their own good. And these people just end up back on the streets without any housing. You know, this Samo Bridge program they give people citations and they say, listen, you can go through the Samo Bridge program, it'd take about 3 months, and then you can work off your citation. So they had 462 people go through that program, and only 54 of them came out of it. The rest of them dropped out or whatever early on. 54 people went through that Samo Bridge program, and none of them ended up with any permanent housing. They just worked off that citation, and now they're back out on the streets because they don't have any place for these people to go. And now, did they give you citation the other night?
No, they woke me up, but they just let me know that they will be combing the beach now.
Now they're going to be combing the beaches again because they don't want poor people to survive during this housing crisis. They just want to make their lives harder. And still, I was the only one out of 10 candidates there the other night that would propose to use any of that Santa Monica Airport property to build affordable housing. Everybody else said, no, it's got to be a great park. Just 192 acres of a great park. We have to treat it like our Central Park. You know, Central Park is a park in New York City that serves 8 million people. Santa Monica doesn't need a great park. And I'll tell you, 148 acres of land, you could use 44 acres of that property and build 3,000 units of affordable housing and still have 148 acres of land for a great park. That's a pretty big sized park, wouldn't you say? 148 acres?
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and I told the people there at that debate the other night, I said, listen, Santa Monica, if you don't use any of that Santa Monica Airport to build affordable housing, everybody will know you don't care about building affordable housing. You just don't care about integrating your city. You just want to push all the poor people out and say, this is ours. And that's what they've been doing since 1970. The population of California has grown by 20 million people. But here in Santa Monica, the population grew by just over 2,000. They said, you poor people stay out, we got ours. Now you poor people stay out, and they're still doing that here. That's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council, to stand up for human rights. And I'm sorry to hear, how many people did they push off the street the other night? I mean, off the beach.
A lot.
Off of the Santa Monica beach where people were sleeping, a lot of homeless people, because they pushed them out of the parks. They can't sleep in the bushes or anywhere in the parks at night because I guess there's too many reasons to know that that's ridiculous. I mean, sure, you want to have more police presence in these places where a lot of homeless people are sleeping, but let them sleep until you find a safe space. Come on, they could fence off part of the beach or fence off part of a park and say, listen, homeless people, you can sleep over here tonight. They used to have a program where homeless people could sleep in one of these parking structures late at night when there are no cars there. You could have people sleeping up there. There are lots of solutions, but Santa Monica's solution is criminalizing poverty and homelessness, and that's a shame. So how many people were there about?
I couldn't tell you. There were several.
20? 30? Something like that.
It was not that many. It wasn't like 30. You know.
Maybe 20?
You know, there was a few people, man, but
No.
you know.
But they've gotten used to sleeping over there for a while, and now that's off limits too.
Yeah, I definitely was spoiled sleeping on the beach.
Yeah.
You know, but like.
And now it's
And it's summertime, and I kind of knew it was coming. Like I expected to be woke up, you know what I mean? I knew it was coming. You know.
Well, they used to let people sleep on the promenade too, and now they're waking up people even on the topiaries, where the topiaries are exempt from the no sitting, no lying law here in Santa Monica. So if you ever need a place to sleep, you go sleep on that topiary at night and say, this topiary is exempt from no sitting, no lying. I can sleep here overnight. That's what it says in the law.
I went to there's a couch on the curb on Venice Boulevard I went to last night. So that's where I plan on going in tonight until they throw the couch away.
My friend Jesse has to go and find a couch on the sidewalk that somebody's throwing away and sleep there until they throw the couch away, till it's picked up. And then people would try to keep people from just having a decent night's sleep. How cruel and inhumane is that? They won't let them sleep on the beach because, what? The sharks might not like it, the dolphins might be a little uncomfortable. We have a housing crisis, a homelessness crisis. We need to build affordable housing, but until then, we need safe spaces for these homeless human beings to be able to survive. We need 24-hour restrooms. We need showers that are accessible.
24-hour restrooms.
A secure 24-hour restrooms. We need storage bins for people right here in Santa Monica. All right, you take it easy there, Jesse. Good to see you. Ain't got no money. Hey, peace and love. Ain't got no honey. Ain't got no runny nose. I got some shoes on my feet so I can run down the street. Don't need no funny clothes. I got thought into my hair. I got a life without fear. I got mama gonna rock and roll. That was a motorcycle gang. A motorcycle gang just came down the road here. A motorcycle gang. Ain't got no money, ain't got no honey, ain't got no runny nose. I got some shoes on my feet so I can run down the street. Don't need no phony clothes. I got the wind in my hair, I got a life without care. I got Juliet and mama gonna rock and roll. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ain't got no seasons, don't have no reason to need no freezing rain. I got the surf and the sand, my rock and roll one-man band. Don't ride no gravy train. I got the wind in my hair, I got a life without care. I got Juliet and mama gonna rock and roll. Ooh, ooh. Ain't got no money, ain't got no honey, ain't got no runny nose. I got some shoes on my feet so I can run down the street. Don't need no funny clothes. I got the wind in my hair, I got a life without care. I got Juliet and mama gonna, Juliet and mama gonna, Juliet and mama gonna rock and roll. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey. That's right, we got 800 miles of public beaches here in California. And mostly rich white people living next to those public beaches. Why is that? A lot of people say, well, you shouldn't build affordable housing in Santa Monica. That's prime real estate. How did it become prime real estate? Because they pushed all the poor people out. When you push all the poor people out, you're living in prime real estate. And that's not the way we want things here in the United States of America. We want to keep integrating. We don't want to have pockets of only rich people and only poor people. That's not what we're working towards here in the United States of America. We're working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. We don't need poor kids living over in downtown that have schools that are underfunded and where most of the students are dropping out. We need to make sure that we spend more money on those low-income area schools until rich people want to send their kids to those schools. or we need to keep integrating. We need to keep doing both. We need to keep spending more money on public schools, and we need to keep integrating our society. Because we haven't gotten to the place where everybody has the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the world. That's why we need to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. That's right. We got to keep speaking about this. We got to keep telling people, listen, California, try to do something to show the rest of the country that you can actually get something done, that progressive government can work, that we can help lift people out of poverty and make lives better. We do have health care for the poor here in California. I get my teeth cleaned. I'm a poor man. I get my teeth cleaned for free here in California. And we need to make sure that everybody can have basic health care right here in California. And that's part of the reason for this Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. We have to show that California can raise taxes on the rich, because everybody else in the rest of the country says, why do you want to raise taxes on the rich for? They're the ones getting all the jobs. They're the ones doing all the work and getting all the jobs for everybody. Why do you want to raise taxes on the rich? Well, listen, if you've got rich people having space races while poor people are sleeping in the streets, you got to change your business model, because it ain't working. So we need to raise taxes on the rich right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. How you doing tonight? Can I give you something? Can I give you a few dollars? We have to keep working towards a better day for everybody, because we haven't gotten there yet. Way too many people are suffering, while too many rich are just having a great time, having a party. And since we can't raise taxes on Elon Musk here in California, since he went over to Texas to take advantage of the poor people over there, he's a trillionaire, you know. He owns more wealth than the bottom 50% of our population here in the United States. One man owns more wealth than the bottom 50% of our population here in the United States. And we can't raise taxes on him because he's over in Texas. But we can raise taxes on the billionaires right here in California. We're living in California. Everything's partly okay, living in California. Another beautiful sunshine day, living in California. Everything's mostly alright, living in California. Having fun on the promenade tonight. Woo! Living in California. People of all kinds, living in California. Sure, I'll get a little bit out of our minds. Woo! Living in California. Everything's alright. Living in California. Having fun on the promenade tonight. Don't let the Trump get you in a slump. We'll get rid of his hump. We're gonna be alright. in the land of surf and sand, movie stars, electric cars, and it's a beautiful Santa Monica night. We're living in California with people of all kinds. Living in California, sure we all get a little bit out of our minds. Ooh, living in California, things could be a whole lot worse. Living in California, rest of the country's moving in reverse. Let's not follow them now. Living in California, the place the whole world's dreaming of. How you doing tonight? Can I help you with something? How you doing tonight, sir? Living in California, go out and spread some peace and love. That's right. You know, we got some great things going on here in California. California is the second most diverse state in the whole country, behind Hawaii. We got people from different backgrounds, different races, different religions, different ethnicities, different beliefs, different genders, all living together in virtual harmony. But everybody knows there's some things we need to be working on. California, we are the fourth largest economy of the whole wide world, and we are ranked 30th in spending on public education. We are the fourth largest economy of the whole wide world, and we are ranked 30th in this country in spending on public education. That's a shame. Everybody should just go, oh gosh, who's running this place? Come on, we have to do better, California. California, we have the most billionaires of any state in the whole country, and we have the most homeless people of any state in the whole country, and that ought to be a crime. That's why we need to get behind this Billionaire Tax Act. Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. That's right. And we need to spend more money on education. Spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration. You know, we spend about $20,000 a year per public school student, and over $130,000 a year on each incarcerated person. So $20,000 or so on each public school student, and over $130,000 a year on each incarcerated person. We need to spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration, spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration, spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration. That's right, we can do it. How are you doing tonight? Good to see you.
Hanging in there, thanks, Wade. How about you?
All right, Sam. See, I had it on the tip of my tongue, Sam. What's going on?
Not much. I'm just out for a walk, and I'm going to get home and start practicing some shred licks.
All right, very good. I could always use somebody to play some shred licks on my tunes. Hey, do you know I'm running for Santa Monica City Council again?
I did not, but I will keep that in mind.
I just spoke, and there was a debate on Wednesday night. The Santa Monica Democratic Club sponsored a debate. All 10 candidates were there, and I hope you look at it. I'm still the only one who would propose to use any of that Santa Monica airport property to build affordable housing. And
I think that's the only spot on which we disagree. Other than that, though, I think you're on point.
Well, thank you. I think we need to stop criminalizing poverty and homelessness in Santa Monica.
Really, anywhere.
Well, yeah, but that's where we are right here. And Santa Monica needs to show the other places we don't do that, but we do it here. And that's why we have to stop doing that. And that's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council, to stand up for human rights.
Exactly.
And we need to build affordable housing here in Santa Monica, because You know, we're closing the Samo Shell shelter. Have you heard about that?
I have not. Tell me about it.
They're closing down the Samo Shell. Under their new realignment plan, they're closing down the Samo Shell shelter, and I heard recently the people concerned over on 5th Street where I get my mail, because I'm homeless as well, they're supposed to be ending services there. So they're going to close down the 60-bed shelter, and they want to lease shelter beds in a more densely populated, lower income, more racially diverse city. They were talking about the city of Bell and other places. So they just want to push the poor people out of Santa Monica, and they're continuing to put them through these programs like Samo Bridge, where they are not, they're giving people citations and trying to make them work those citations off. 462 went into that program this last year. 54 came out of it with their citations erased. And the others, you know, they still have citations, but nobody ended up with any housing, especially here in Santa Monica.
That's rough, dude. That's a mess.
It is a mess. And I hope you get involved, Sam. Good to see you.
Thanks,
Peace.
you too.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Thank you very much. We're living in California with people of all kinds. Living in California, sure I'll get a little bit out of our minds. Ooh. Living in California, things could be a whole lot worse. Living in California, rest of the country's moving in reverse. Ooh. Living in California, the place the whole world's dreaming of. Living in California, go out and spread some peace and love. Yeah, yeah. Woo, woo. Hey, hey. That's right, spread the peace and love, especially to those in need. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy in this country. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. We have to build affordable housing. We have to have programs to help lift people out of poverty, right here in California. I ain't gonna stop saying it. I sure hope we start doing it. Because that's the whole idea in this country, is to make lives better for human beings, not make things harder. That's not what the Constitution of this country is about. That's not what the Declaration of Independence is about. We're not trying to make things harder for human beings. We're trying to make things better. And since the beginning of this country, we have worked towards making it more inclusive for human beings. In the beginning, it was only rich white guys who owned property who benefited from any of these new laws, who benefited from the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution. But throughout the history of this country, we have been working to make things better for human beings, and we need to keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't celebrate some of those things that happened in the past. Breaking away from a monarchy, that was a big deal back then. Standing up and saying, listen, human beings deserve rights. But we have to keep working towards those. And since the 4th of July was just recently, I'm going to go ahead and play that Declaration song again, the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Thank you, that's very sweet. I'll try to hand that out to somebody. Thank you, peace. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving the just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying the foundations in such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them should all seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, but accordingly all evidence hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. In the long train of abuses and usurpations, invariably pursuing the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism. It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such governments and to provide new guards for their future security. For their future security. For their future security. That's right. It's all about helping people to pursue their happiness. We got to keep working to make things better for human beings, not harder. We're not trying to push poor people down and punish them for being poor and homeless. We need to help lift them up and make sure that everybody has the basics here in this richest, most powerful country in the whole wide world. We don't have to settle for things the way they are. That's what this whole country is about. In the Constitution, it says we're working towards a more perfect union, establishing justice, ensuring domestic tranquility, providing for the common defense, promoting the general welfare, and securing the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. We got to keep working towards a better day because we haven't gotten there yet. We got to tell everybody that your life is worth something. Every human being. It's not based on how much money you earn every day. Every human being has a value. Every human being has a worth. How much does it cost to live? How much should you have to pay? How much should you have to earn to live for one more day? How much does it cost to live before your life has worth? And tell me, how hard should you have to struggle to survive in the richest, most powerful country on the face of the earth? How much does a rich man want? How much does he have to keep before he can say it's okay for poor people to sleep? How much do the greedy want for poor folks to eat? And tell me, when will we see the end of the day when human beings have to sleep in the streets? How much, how much, how much, how much, how much, how much? That's right. How much does it cost to live? How much should a person have to earn every day just to be worth something in this country? Just to be valued for being a human being? These poor people that are trying to sleep, get a good night's sleep somewhere, having to sleep on the beach or in the park and being harassed for just sleeping, just trying to sleep. That's a shame. A lot of people say to me, they say, oh, these homeless people, they're all drug addicts and they're all mentally ill. You know, there are a lot of drug addicts in this country who do have housing, and it makes their drug problem a little easier. Can you imagine having a substance abuse disorder and having to try to find a safe place to sleep every night? What that is going to do? Can you imagine having a mental disability and every day trying to find a safe place to sleep without being harassed or given citations or put in jail? Can you imagine how that would affect your mental disability? We have a lot of people in this country with mental disabilities and substance abuse disorders, and a lot of them have a place to live, and it helps. So let's stop that argument that, oh, they need to all be put in a mental institution. Housing first, housing first, housing first. And then we can make everybody perfect, just like you and me. How much does it cost to live? How much do you have to pay? How much should you have to earn to live for one more day? How much does it cost to live before your life has worth? And tell me, how hard should you have to struggle to survive? How hard should you have to struggle to survive in the richest, most powerful, most abundant country on the face of the earth? How much does the rich man want? How much does he have to keep before he can say it's okay for poor people to sleep? How much do the greedy want for poor folks to eat? And tell me, when will we see the end of the day? When will we see the end of the day? When human beings have to sleep in the streets? How much, how much, how much, how much, how much, how much? That's right. We're going to keep working towards a better day where everybody has the basics. We can do that here in this richest, most powerful country in the world. Anybody who says we can't, I don't know what you're thinking about. There have been programs to help lift people out of poverty in the past. We think of the great President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who put together programs like Social Security to help people when they got to be a certain age, help lift them up, help them through the rest of their lives. And I'm thankful because now I'm old and I get Social Security, and it helps me get through the rest of my life. And now I can give my donations here to the homeless people here in Santa Monica. I'm thankful for programs like Medicare and Medicaid that we have here in California. You know, there are 10 states in this country that don't have any health care for poor people. That's right. We don't want to be like those states. We want to be like a state that lifts poor people up and make sure that everybody can have the basics. That's why we need to raise taxes on the billionaires right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. That's right, we can do it. We can show that progressive government can make a difference in people's lives. And we can make sure that it works. And we can make sure that instead of just telling the rest of the country, oh, we should be having a more progressive society, that we can be showing the rest of the country the difference between progressive democratic government and conservative Republican government, that we can show that we can help lift people out of poverty and make sure that everybody has the basics. That ain't too much to ask. It was too late for me to start on that. But I will be putting up some of the debate from the other night, the Santa Monica Democratic Club debate the other night for the Santa Monica City Council. I'll be putting up the full debate on my Facebook page, and it's already on the YouTube page. So take a look at some of that. I'll be putting different clips of that as well. But get out, get involved. I hope if you're a voter here in Santa Monica that you will go over to that Santa Monica Democratic Club and look at that and see if you can join up and endorse me, because I'm not going to be raising any money for my campaign. I'm going to pay the fines, the fees associated with it. But any money given to me for my Santa Monica City Council campaign, I will be donating it to the homeless, as I do the donations here on the promenade. Did you see any of that debate the other night, Mike?
I wasn't able to catch it. I had a class.
Okay, it's the Santa Monica Democratic Club on YouTube. You can see the whole thing. It went pretty well. I'm still the only candidate of 10 that would propose to use any of that Santa Monica airport for any affordable housing, and I am just amazed by that. Not one of them, not one of the other 10 said, well, maybe we could build a few affordable housing units on that 192 acres of land. I told them if they don't build any, they're just showing the rest of the world that Santa Monica doesn't care about building affordable housing. But anyway, you can watch some of it, and you might like some of it. I'll be posting some clips also, or take some clips out. How's everything for you? It's good? You have a great night. Peace. Good to see you, Mike. So we'll keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all, because we haven't gotten there yet. We can keep making things better. We don't have to criminalize poverty and homelessness. We can stand up for the rights of everybody to have the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the whole wide world. keep working towards a better day. We can work towards gun control. We need to find a way to stand up for these people that have been used for their labor for generations and not been given their rights. We need to boycott and walk out and sit in and strike, do whatever, and tell our Congress when we get a new Congress in there, they better find a pathway to citizenship for these tens of millions of people, a new comprehensive immigration bill. My song is just a song, just a dream to sing along to, a dream that can't be sold for silver or the gold, but something you can hold in the part of your heart that cries in the night, longs for the day when something goes right, and yearns for loving arms to hold you tight, sweet dreams and restful nights. Peace. I sing you a sunny day. I sing your worries all away. I sing you loving arms to hold you tight, sweet dreams and restful nights. I sing you a sunny day. I sing your worries all away. I sing you loving arms to hold you tight, sweet dreams and restful, peaceful nights. Peace and love. Hi, how are you?